Boots, Boots, Boots Riley. Boots, 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 Boots Riley. Bum, 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 bum. I've got the power. Lovely. Hi, I'm Christopher Rao, here with Juan Agudelo on Le Cinema Boof. Today we're going to discuss the debut feature of Boots, aka Raymond Lawrence Riley's Sorry to Bother You. Now, Juan, what I found interesting was the cultural discussion around this film. It's alternately been described as a cinematic masterpiece and a film that's mise en scène is rivaled only by the filmmakers of La Nouvelle Vague Française, namely François Truffaut and Jean-Luc Godard. Now, we often discuss mise en scène privately, so I thought it would be appropriate if you did the intro this week for Sorry to Bother You. So please, take it away. Thank you, Chris. Yo, I'm a rude boy and I ain't got no white boys. Haha, corporate America, you can suck it. Sorry to Bother You is the film debut of rapper, artist Boots Riley. Set in a surreal Oakland, Sorry to Bother You follows Cassius Green, played by ascending superstar Lakeith Stanfield, as he struggles to make it in the hyper-capitalist world that is telemarketing. Cassius gets caught between the corporate culture of Regal View and a rapidly developing labor dispute, and what starts off as a strange satire becomes downright bizarre. My man Chris, what did you make of Boots Riley's debut film, and what else can you say about Sorry to Bother You?
Sorry to Bother You as a movie, it's a lot to take in, and it's not a perfect movie, but as the product of a director, Boots Riley, I'm really excited for the start of this guy's filmmaking career. I really want to see what he makes, because Sorry to Bother You is such a rush of style, such a unique kind of humor. It made me laugh a lot. Of course I want to see what this guy does next. It's very unique vision. I think the movie has great performances from Lakeith Stanfield, from Tessa Thompson as his girlfriend, Danny Glover and Terry Crews, the day players kind of.
Cassius, I'm your fucking uncle.
The David Crosses and Patton Oswalt's doing the white voices. He has a really kind of unique ensemble.
Armie Hammer.
I was surprised. I had no idea it was in
I
this.
had no idea that fool was in it, but he was hilarious.
He's
doing
like
bumps, doing lines.
It's like
on
the
lines on
Winklevoss
lines.
brothers grow up and become kind of evil.
Exactly.
Boots Riley gets a lot of different components that if you heard someone describe this movie to you, even the first half, which is great, you would think no way all of that would go together, and he's orchestrating all of these different things, but it does, and that's really exciting. But there's sort of a way that the movie doesn't stick the landing, shall we say. That's how I would say it.
There's always a but with you.
It doesn't,
Big butts.
I think it knows that it's got to do something to make this story conclude, and I think that feels a little externally imposed in a way that doesn't feel like it really belongs. It feels like they were looking for something crazy to wrap this all up, and it doesn't quite work. So I'm mixed. I'm a little more mixed on the movie. Really high on Boots Riley. But, Juan, what do you think?
I had no context of what this movie was about. Like, I kind of heard, like, oh, man, you got to watch this because it's like, it's kind of like Michel Gondry, like, surreal. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm in. I'm already in. When I got out of the theater, the first thing I said, 5-star movie. I was fresh. It was fresh in my head. The film, stylistically, was awesome, Got that surreal Michel Gondry thing going on there.
Definitely.
Hey, Mr. Kramer, this is Langston from Regal View.
And one of the things they have him do is fall in the environments, the people he's talking to, and some of that visual is really clever. Like, he'll fall through the floor and he'll be talking
like
to
it's
person,
his desk and he's like
as though he's right there.
Yeah. For this to be his first film and for him to show that kind of style and that kind of creativity to like do these practical effects for transitions, I was like, wow, this is really cool. But I think you need a little bit of time to let the content simmer in your brain a little bit and let it settle. And to your point, it gets a little messy at the end.
You know, the first hour of the movie is really tight, really thought out, but then it takes a kooky, weird turn that it's like, huh?
You know, the ending, and we'll talk around this a little so that we don't, because I think it is fun to be surprised by that, even though it's crazy and I don't know if it works. I'm not saying it's completely off. I think they need something crazy like that. I just thought it was like 5 degrees wrong. It's just wrong enough that you realize, okay, I kind of see that they're going for something having to do with exploitation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's not quite there.
What'd you think about like the subliminal messages? What do you think they were trying to say in this movie?
If I had to say what I think, if this movie were to rewrite and be really focused, capitalism, the capitalist structure is kind of the main target. There's racial stuff, but those two are closely linked, so that's why I can see that like white culture and like white imperialism is definitely part of that, but is really this corporate kind of the way they exploit people in all these different ways. That's what a lot of the satire is. You've got the Lakeith Stanfield character, Cassius Green. He should be on the side of the people who are organizing these unions, but the man always gives you a better like they.
And he's always love it. He's like, I'm in.
Well, but
I'm in. He wants to make that money.
But they're being exploited just in a different way. So
he
that's
wants
what
to drive
like.
a Maserati, baby.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get bank. You know, he ain't trying to live that life, that low life. The bottom line is this movie for me, I prematurely gave it a 5-star rating right off the bat, but then I let it simmer, and then I saw some of the problems it had. But overall, very entertaining, very fun. I was laughing my ass off throughout the entire movie. There's some good stuff. Visually, it's pleasing to the eye. I had a great time with it. I actually saw this movie with my man right here, Brad Cagano. And I'm going to give it a 4.5 stars for being funny as hell, having a voice, getting me to laugh out loud like a damn hyena. Chris, what did you think of Sorry to Bother You?
Juan, I am really looking forward to Boots Riley's career. I give Boots Riley as a person an A+, a new scale that I give to humans as A+, instead of the traditional 5-star kind of scale. The film is flawed, but full of great moments. It's a 3.5-star film. It is really funny. It doesn't stick the land. It kind of loses its way. It's not very focused, but it's a very promising first feature. 3.5 stars. Well, hey, thanks so much for joining us this week on Cinema Boof. That was a review of Boots Raymond Lawrence Riley's Sorry to Bother You. That was a delightful discussion, one. Please like, comment, subscribe, all of those things that you do on the internet. And I think we'll be off next week, but the week following, we'll be looking at one of America's real auteurs. He's an actor, he's a philanthropist, he's a Scientologist. It's Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible Fallout.
Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise, coming in hot. It's gonna be fun. And we promise we'll try and make this a little bit more regular. We're gonna stop doing the long hiatuses in between videos. We're gonna come in hot like Tom Cruise next time.
Oh, remember that joke I made, Juan, about being regular with my bowel movements? So we'll see you next time on Cinema Boof.
Man, I'm too old for this shit.